Hello students, hope all are fine. Welcome to the class. Students, today we will be discussing the fourth lesson from the Moments text. As you all know that our text contains fabulous and interesting stories. Before we begin with the chapter in the Kingdom of Fools, let us know about the author. Attipatti Krishna Swami Ramanujan was born on 16th March 1929, popularly known as A.K. Ramanujan. He was an Indian poet and scholar of Indian literature who wrote in both English and Kannada. Ramanujan was a poet, scholar, professor, and a translator. His academic research ranged in 5 languages: English, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, and Sanskrit. He published works on both classical and modern variants of literature. Ramanujan's poems are remembered as enigmatic works of startling originality, sophistication, and moving artistry. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1999 for his collection of poems, The Collected Poem. Ramanujan worked as a lecturer of English at Koilan and Belgaum. He later taught at the Maharaja Sayajirao University in Baroda for about 8 years. In 1962, he joined the University of Chicago as an assistant professor. He taught in many US universities like University of California, University of Chicago, and Harvard University. Ramanujan was instrumental in shaping the South Asian Studies program. He wrote all his poetries in America, but the heart of his poetry is India and Indian culture. His experiences about the American lifestyle seems to affect very little in his verses. He has written his earlier poems in Kannada like Vachanas. In 1976, the government of India awarded him the Padma Shri, and in 1983 he was given the MacArthur Prize Fellowship. In 1983, he was appointed at the William E. Colvin Professor in the Departments of South Asian Languages and Civilizations of Linguistics and in the Committee on Social Thought. A.K. Ramanujan died in Chicago on 13th July 1993 as a result of adverse reaction to anesthesia during preparation for a surgery. Now, let me tell you the story of the Kingdom of Fools written by A.K. Ramanujan. Children, it is believed that fools are so dangerous that only very wise people can manage them. Who are the fools in this story and what happens to them, we will know now. In the Kingdom of Fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. They ordered all the things to be reversed. They decided to change night into day and day into night. They ordered people to do day's work in night and sleep in the day. Anyone not obeying was to be punished with death. So people, out of fear, did as they were asked to do. This delighted the king and the minister. Once a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. They found everyone sleeping during the day. No activity was observed. It amazed them. They wandered till evening. Then the people woke up. They started doing their business in the night. Now the two were hungry. They bought some food items. The price of everything was same, a single dudu. Here in the chapter, single dudu means 1 anna, that means 1 coin. So whatever they bought, it was only a single dudu. This surprised and delighted them. The Guru realized that it was really a kingdom of fools. The Guru decided to leave the city of fools. He asked his disciple also to leave the place, but the disciple didn't want to do so for cheap food. The Guru advised the disciple that nothing could be predicted of fools, but the disciple didn't care. He remained behind. Time passed on. The disciple ate to his fill. As a result, he became very fat. One day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He was taking out the stolen things. Just then, the wall of the old house fell on his head. He was killed instantly. The brother of the thief complained to the king about his death. He blamed the owner of the house for his brother's death. The king heard the accused. He accused him of killing the thief. But the owner said that he was innocent. He said that the person who built the wall was responsible. Actually, he didn't make a good wall. The king decided to summon the bricklayer. The king asked the bricklayer if he had built the wall. He accused him of killing the thief. Before the king could order his death, the bricklayer pleaded his innocence. He told the king that he could not concentrate while building the wall. A dancing girl moved in the street, and this changed his concentration. So she was responsible for it. The king summoned for the dancing girl, and the king charged the dancing girl of killing the thief. The dancing girl said that the goldsmith was responsible for it. She had given him some gold to make jewelry for her. He was lazy and he did not make the jewelry in time. So she had to walk up and down the street. So it was the goldsmith's fault. The king now ordered for the goldsmith. The goldsmith replied that there was a wedding in the rich man's house. He had to make jewelry for him, so he could not finish the jewelry of the dancing girl in time. The king declared the rich man to be the murderer. He was also the owner of that house, but he said that his father had ordered the jewelry. The king consulted his minister. He decided that the owner to be punished in his father's place. The king asked for a new stake to be made ready for the owner to die. But the owner was very thin. He could not be executed. The king was worried about it. Then he ordered to search a man who would fit for the stake, and he should be executed. So now, what do you think? What happened? The disciple was brought before the king because he had been eating lots and now he had become very fat, as you can see in the picture. He was brought to the palace for execution. The disciple now remembered his wise guru's words. He prayed to his guru. The guru had magic powers to see the past and the future. He saw everything and he arrived at once to save his disciple. He told his disciple something in a low voice, and the disciple understood. The guru and the disciple now started fighting. The guru wanted to die first. The king asked the guru why he wanted to die. The guru told the king in his ears that their city was unique. This was the stake of God of justice. The stake was new. It was never used earlier on criminals. Whoever died by it would be born as a king, and whoever died next would be born as a minister. The king thought over the whole case. He didn't want to lose the kingdom, even in his next birth. So he discussed with his minister. The king said that they would go on the stake themselves. Thus, they would be reborn as a king and minister again. The king and the minister went secretly to the prison. They realized they released the guru and the disciple. They put themselves in their places. So they were taken to the stake and executed. The guru and the disciple, in the last, they become the king and the minister. Now we will see how. The dead bodies of the king and the minister were taken down. The people mourned their deaths. They discussed the future of the kingdom. Suddenly, some people thought of the guru and disciple. They were secretly leaving the city. The people saw them. They requested them to be their new king and the minister. But they put one condition. It was to change all the old laws. So they changed the laws. So this was the story of the kingdom of fools. Children, you might have read many stories like this in Tenali Ramas, and if you see in Shakespeare's plays, the fool is not really foolish. So you may get to read many stories like that which is similar to this. Now let us see the main points, highlighting main points of the story. In the kingdom of fools, the king and the minister were idiots. They decided to change night into day and day into night. They ordered the people to do the day's work in the night and sleep in the day. Anyone disobeying them was to be put to death. People did what they were told because they were scared of the king. A guru and his disciple arrived in the city. They found everyone asleep during the day. They started doing their business at night. The guru and his disciple were hungry. They bought some food. Everything was priced at a single dudu. This amazed them. The guru decided to leave the city of fools as nothing could be predicted about them. But the disciples decided to stay back as he got fat due to eating. One day a thief broke into a rich man's house, but as he was taking the stolen items, the wall of the house fell on his head and he was killed. The thief's brother complained to the king. He blamed the owner of the house for his brother's death. The king heard the accused. The owner said that he was innocent. The person who built the wall was responsible for the death. The bricklayer was called. The bricklayer accused the dancing girl as the culprit. He said that he couldn't concentrate as the dancing girl disturbed him in his work. She held the goldsmith responsible for it. She had given him some gold for making jewelry, and the goldsmith was called, and he replied that there was a wedding in the rich man's house and he couldn't finish the dancing girl's jewelry in time due to that. The king summoned the rich man to be murderer. He was also the owner of the house, but he said that his father had ordered the jewelry. The king consulted his minister and decided that the owner was to be punished. The king asked for a new stake to be made ready for the owner to die, but the owner was very thin. The king ordered to search a man who was fit for the stake to be executed. Finally, the disciple was found. He was fit for the stake, so he was to be executed. The disciple remembered his wise guru's words. He prayed for him. The guru arrived at once to help his disciple, and he whispered something in his ear. Both of them started fighting as per the plan. The guru wanted to die first, and the king asked why he wanted to die. The guru told the king in his ears that the city was unique. That was the stake of God of justice, as it was never used for criminals. Whoever died first would be born a king whoever died next would be born as a minister. The king thought over the whole case. He didn't want to lose his kingdom. He talked to the minister, that is, both of them discussed, and they said that they would go on the stake themselves. The king and the minister went secretly to the prison. They released the guru and the disciple. They put themselves in their places and were executed. The people mourned their deaths. They discussed the future of the kingdom. Suddenly, they thought of the guru and the disciple, and they pleaded them to become the king and the disciple. Once they became the king and the minister, what happened? They changed all the laws. So this was the story. I hope you have understood and enjoyed the story. Thank you, students. Stay safe.